All right. Today we're going to be playing a game to help explain the process of brewing sake. Would you care to introduce yourselves?
Hi, I'm Nick.
Hi, I'm Zane.
All right. So you'll be asked a series of questions, and you will be scored on how many questions you answer correctly. And at the end of the game, the winner will decide which prize they will receive: a goodie bag of Japanese sweets or a box containing a mystery prize. The loser will receive the leftover prize. All right, first round. The blue note cards that have been provided have each step of the sake brewing process written on them. Attempt to put the cards in the correct order. You will have 3 minutes. For every step you get right, you will receive 1 point. A total of 10 points are available. And on my mark, you can start. And go. You have 2 minutes remaining.
Huh, I thought this would take way longer. Okay, well I think we're done, Anne.
You're done?
Yeah.
All right. So Nick, starting with you, read off what you have.
So I said polish whole rice, wash the rice, steam the rice, then prepare the shubo, then prepare the moromi, then pass the moromi through a press, then add the mold to the rice, then filter and pasteurize the sake, then place it in cold storage to mature, and finally bottle and distribute.
So Nick, you got 5 points.
Okay.
Zane, read off what you have.
Said you would polish the whole rice, you'd wash the rice, steam the rice, prepare the moromi, pass the moromi through a press, prepare the shubo, filter and pasteurize the sake, place sake in a cold storage to mature, and then bottle and distribute the sake.
All right. And Zane, you got 6 points.
Whoa!
Okay, so the correct order was polish the whole rice, wash the rice, steam the rice, add the koji keen mold spores, prepare the shubo, prepare the moromi, pass the moromi through a press, filter and pasteurize sake, place the sake in cold storage and let it mature, and then bottle and distribute the sake. Round 2. Rice hulls are A. Soft layers covering rice grains. B. Hard protective coverings over rice grains. C. Clumps of rice grains. Or D. Clumps of dirt and debris covering the rice grains. Nick.
I'm going to say B.
I'm going to say C.
Okay, Nick, you got the point. It is B. Hard protective coverings over rice grains. Round 3. Once it absorbs blank % of its weight in water, the rice is steamed. Is it A, 15%, B, 45%, C, 30%, or D, 50%? Nick.
I'm going to say D, 50%, Anne.
I'm going to say 30%. C.
Zane, it is 30%. So Zane gets the point.
Nice.
Round 4. During the steaming steps, are steps measured to A, the final minute, B, the final hour, C, the final day, or D, the final second? Nick.
I'm going to say A, the final minute.
Zane.
I'm going to say to the final day.
So you're both incorrect. The correct answer was D, the final second.
Wow, how precise.
Round 5. How long does it take to steam the rice? A, 1 hour, B, 1 hour and 30 minutes, C, 3 hours, or D, 5 hours? Nick.
I'm going to say A, 1 hour.
Zane.
I'm going to say B, 1 hour and 30 minutes.
So Nick, you got that right. It is 1 hour. Round 6. How is the condition of rice checked after it's steamed? A, using a thermometer to see that the rice is at 212 degrees Fahrenheit. B, squeezing a handful of rice. C, the appearance of the rice, which should be white and stuck together. Or D, the smell of the rice. Nick.
212 seems a little high, so I'm going to go with C.
The appearance of the rice?
Yes.
I think I'm going to go with D, the smell of the rice.
That also seems plausible.
Yeah.
Okay, so you were both incorrect. The correct answer was B, squeezing a handful of rice. Round 7. The spores of koji ken, which is a type of mold, is sprinkled on the rice. The rice is then wrapped in cloth and kept for how many days? A, 3 days, B, 2 days, C, 1 day, or D, 5 days? Nick.
I'm going to say D, 5 days.
Zane?
I'm going to say A, 3 days.
Okay, so both of you are incorrect. The correct answer is C, 1 day. Round 8. After the koji is moved from the cloth wrap to wooden boxes, it is thoroughly mixed and left to sit for blank days. It is then removed from the koji making room. Is it A, 6 days, B, 1 day, C, 8 days, or D, 3 days? Nick.
I'm going to say C, 8 days.
I'm going to say D.
All right, Zane, you got that correct. It is 3 days. Zane gets the point. Round 9. What does shubo consist of? A, steamed rice, water, koji, and yeast. B, glucose, carbon dioxide, and alcohol. Or C, glucose, koji, and yeast? Nick.
I'm going to go with A, I think.
So the steamed rice, water, koji, and yeast?
Yes.
Okay, and Zane?
That also sounds plausible. I think I'll go with A as well.
Okay, so you both got the point. It is steamed rice, water, koji, and yeast. Round 10. To prepare moromi, the yeast starter is moved to a larger tank where more koji, steamed rice, and water are added. On the blank day of being in the tank, more koji, steamed rice, and water is added. What days of being in the tank is the mixture added? A, days 3 and 5, B, days 5 and 6, C, days 2 and 4, or D, days 2 and 6?
I think I'm going to go with answer D, days 2 and 6.
Okay, and Zane?
I think I'm going to go with C, days 2 and 4.
All right, so Zane, that was correct, days 2 and 4. Round 11. On day 4, the end of the fermentation preparation process has been reached. How much of the batch does this yield? A, the full batch, B, 1/2 of the total batch, C, 1/4 of the total batch, or D, 1/3 of the total batch? Nick.
I think I'm going to say A, the entire batch.
Okay.
I think I'm going to say C, third of the batch.
A third of the batch or a fourth?
Oh, a third. A third is D, right?
Okay, yes.
Right, D then.
So both of those answers were incorrect. The correct answer is it's 1/2 of the total batch. Round 12. What is multiple parallel fermentation? A, the conversion of starch to sugar and fermentation in tanks that are parallel from each other. B, the conversion of starch to sugar in the same tank in which ingredients are placed parallel to each other. Or C, the conversion of starch to sugar and fermentation in the same tank. Nick.
I think I'm going to say C.
Okay, and Zane.
I think I'm going to say A.
All right, Nick, that was correct. It is C, the conversion of starch to sugar and fermentation in the same tank. Multiple parallel fermentation is the process where starch converts to glucose, and yeast uses that glucose to create alcohol and carbon dioxide. And this takes place in parallel in the same tank, which is unique to brewing sake. Round 13. True or false? When moromi is passed through a press, the term rice lees is referring to rice solids. Nick.
True.
False.
Nick, that is correct. That is true. Round 14. After the sake has been filtered and pasteurized, it is placed in cold storage and matured for blank years. Is it matured for A, 1 to 2 years, B, not matured at all, C, 3 to 5 years, or D, all of the above? Nick.
I feel like depending on the type of sake, it could be any of them. So I'm going to say D, all of the above.
And Zane?
D.
So both of you got that correct. So traditionally, sake was matured for up to 3 to 5 years, as aged sake was considered to be precious and was especially treasured by the aristocracy, although common people typically drank freshly brewed sake because it was cheaper. However, during the Meiji era, which was towards the late 1800s, because sake was seen as a potentially rich resource of tax income, tax laws were put in place to fund wars with China and Russia. Because sake was then taxed as soon as it was pressed, brewers had no incentive to let sake mature because they would only lose profits. This tax law, however, was revised 30 years ago so that the sake is taxed only when the brewery ships it now. Flash round. Are you guys ready?
Sure.
Yes.
So the second set of flashcards, the pink ones that were provided to you, are the steps of the process of how to brew miso, which is a primary component of miso soup, which I'm sure you're familiar with. You have 1 minute and 30 seconds to arrange the steps in the correct order. For each correct answer, you will earn double points.
Ooh, and what's the score out right now, Anne?
Let me check. So currently, Nick is at 11 points, and Zane, you are at 11 points.
Yay.
All right, and on my mark, you may begin. And go.
Okay.
Are you finished?
Oh, hold on. I can't read. Let me actually read this time. That seems plausible. Let's go with that.
All right, are both of you ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So Nick, starting with you, read off the steps that you have. First, using the title and then the description.
Okay, so I said first you soak the soybeans. So the soybeans are soaked in water overnight to absorb moisture. Next I said steam. Soybeans are steamed at high temperatures and at high pressures. Next I said cool. Soybeans are cooled. After that, I said prepare for stirring. Malted rice, yeast, lactic acid, bacteria, and salt are added to the soybeans and mixed well. Next I said mash. Soybeans, malted rice, and salt are ground to accelerate fermentation. After that comes barreling, wherein the soybeans are placed in barrels to start the fermentation process. The next step is maturation. The soybean mixture is fermented and aged as temperatures are controlled. And finally comes the finished product. Miso is ready to be shipped.
All right, Nick, congratulations. You got all of those correct. So you got the complete 16 points. All the points that were possible.
Looks like you've got a long way to go, Zane.
Yeah.
All right, Zane, give it a shot.
All right, first, you soak the soybeans overnight to absorb moisture. You would then steam the soybeans at high temperatures and high pressures. You then let the soybeans cool. You then prepare for stirring, which you add malted rice, yeast, lactic acid, and salt to the soybeans. You then mash the soybeans, malted rice, and salt to accelerate the fermentation process. You then barrel the soybeans to start the fermentation process. Crap! They're college students. If they can't take that, I'd be surprised. Then mature the soybeans to age them at controlled temperatures, and then you get the finished product, in which case the miso is ready to be shipped.
All right. Zane.
I know I missed one.
What? Oh.
That you have to start the fermentation process before you can accelerate it. And if not, these cards aren't written well.
So, actually, let me check what you have, because I got a little off put when you dropped the F-bomb, but that's okay. So, let's see. You have soak, which is right. Then you have steam. And then you have cool. You have prepare for stirring. You have mash. You have barreled. You have mature. And then you have finished product. So you actually got all of them right.
Yes!
You did it, Zane.
You did it.
Okay.
So you got 16 points as well, which, being that both of you were at 11 before.
Yeah, it's a tie!
All right. So in the case of a tie, I've decided to go back to questions that you've missed to give you a second chance.
Ooh.
Okay. So let's see. What is a good question to ask again? Okay, let's do round 11. So, on day 4, the end of the fermentation preparation process has been reached. How much of the batch does this yield? A, the full batch. B, 1/2 of the total batch. C, 1/4 of the total batch. Or D, 1/3 of the total batch. Nick.
I'm gonna say 1/2 of the total batch.
I agree with that.
Okay, so you both got that. Let's see. Because I'm assuming, because I told you the right answers.
Yes.
So round
Yes,
4. During the steaming steps, are steps measured to A, the final minute, B, the final hour, C, the final day, or D, the final second? Nick.
For utmost accuracy, the steps are measured until the last second.
D.
Okay.
A worthy adversary. At the last.
Okay, so round 7. Let's go back to that. The spores of koji ken, which is a type of mold, is sprinkled on the rice. The rice is then wrapped in cloth and kept for how many days? A, 3 days, B, 2 days, C, 1 day, or D, 5 days. This time, Zane,
I'm
you
going to say
answer.
a day.
You're going to say it's A?
Yeah. A day. One singular day.
1 day. Nick?
You stole my answer. I'm also going to say 1 day.
Well, I mean, I've been stealing your answers for the majority of this, so, I mean, I think it's fair that you steal some back.
I mean, I have, but that's fine. Not too concerned about it.
Okay. Let's see, were there any others? Okay, there is round 6. So how is the condition of the rice checked after it's been steamed? Using a thermometer to see that the rice is at 212 degrees Fahrenheit, which is A. B, squeezing a handful of rice. C, the appearance of the rice, which should be white and stuck together. Or D, the smell of the rice. Zane.
You squeeze the rice.
You squeeze it firmly with both of your hands. Do you have any new sake facts that you can shower us with?
Come on, throw us a curveball.
Let's see. Okay, let's see if you were paying attention.
Probably not. Okay.
So traditionally, sake was matured for up to how many years during the Meiji era and before?
Ooh, that is one moist, steamy curveball.
Nick, starting with you.
I'm going to say... Sorry, I didn't realize how bad that sounded.
That's okay.
I'm going to say for up to 3 to 5 years.
Darn it. Yeah, 3 to 5 years.
And how many years ago was that tax law revised?
30.
Yes.
Ooh, this is one that I did not include.
Okay.
So, when they first imposed the tax laws, how heavily was sake taxed, percentage-wise? Nick.
Ooh.
This was just getting closest. Okay. Can I phone a friend?
No.
Damn. Darn.
I mean, come on, your friend who's the best at math would be me.
Okay, so I'm just copying whatever he's gonna say.
I would appreciate it if you didn't.
Go first then, Zane.
They were taxed by the Chinese and the Russians, correct?
Yes, they were at war with the Chinese and the Russians.
Okay. What time period?
Late 1800s. Meiji era.
Give me a hint.
What was the imposed tax percentage? And keep in mind, they decided to do this because they thought it was a potentially rich source of tax income.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to say 20%.
Okay, and Nick? And I'll
Don't tell me you're
I'm going to say 30%.
Okay.
Nick, that is correct.
Oh, congratulations.
So, Nick, are you going to choose the mystery box, or are you going to choose the Japanese snacks?
I feel like myself in another timeline would make a grave mistake. And who am I to go against his wishes? I'm going to choose the mystery box.
Huh. All right, so everyone has their prizes. Thank you for playing my game, and I hope all of the viewers enjoyed watching.
We sure
Goodbye.
enjoyed ourselves. Goodbye, Mizzou.